Two super GMs fighting it out in a tactical bloodbath. We've got young Indian prodigy Praggnanandhaa taking on Anish Giri. Prag picks up with d4. By the way, when I chucked this in the engine for chess.com, it was 99.3 accuracy and 3000 for the game review for rating performance. The knight jumps in and we get into the Trompowsky attack. Black brings their pawn up and we get our knight into the game. Giri hits the center and we take it. They bring their pawn up to reveal the attack on the pawn and develop their bishop. You'd be a fool to try and hold on to that pawn, so instead we hit back in the center, taking advantage that the knight's pinned here. Giri takes the pawn and we push. It looks like Giri's blundered here because this happens a lot. You can hit this knight and take advantage of the pin, but it's not a blunder. Giri doesn't play something like this. That's another way to try and not lose your knight here, right? But he doesn't go for this. Instead, he gives up the knight willingly, creating a battery. And he's like, yep, that's worth it. That's a good trade. Piece for a battery. Prag takes it. And we give the check here. King has to move up. And this is where the bloodbath just begins because the king's stuck in the middle, but black's given a piece for it. So in theory, black should be trying to checkmate and white should be holding on, but it's not what happens at all. Giri pushes his pawn. He's trying to open up this bishop. Queen and the king are lined up nicely. Prag continues his little journey up here, and the rook has to stop it. He develops his knight, threatens this pawn, and defends his bishop, anticipating that black's going to take, which they do. And he moves his queen up. He's overprotecting the bishop, and he's also thinking this king may have to escape here at some point. Giri jumps his knight in. By the way, still equal game, believe it or not. I don't think these players are going to agree to a draw, though, anytime soon. Casually gets some space on the queen side, but what he's really doing is he just wants to develop his rook. Usually this is what noobs do. Move this pawn up to get the rook out early, which is not what you want to do because the rook's an endgame piece. But in this case, it's not a bad idea, getting your rook up. Going out this way. They push, hitting our knight, and we bring our rook up. We just ignore it. We actually don't really care if they take because it helps us develop. Severely behind in development here. We want to accelerate that. We don't care if we give a piece back because we're actually piece up, if you remember. So Giri actually takes, forcing their knight back. He prioritizes, instead of a whole piece, he wants white undeveloped, and he wants to attack this king. Knight jumps in, giving the check, and we got that little runaway square we prepared earlier. Queen comes in, threatening the rook. We slide it over this way. This is where we wanted it anyway, and they give the check. It's almost checkmate because the knight blocks our king's escape, but of course we can block with the queen. Giri's not going for a queen trade here. He's going to pick up an extra pawn because he's down a piece still. We improve our queen, applying some pressure to the knight. Black improves their bishop, and we add another attacker to this knight, and we force the rook to do something. They take, and we take this way, opening up our other rook to come in for the game. Somehow we've activated this rook, which you thought would take 1, 2, 3 turns. Black's knight's hanging to attack as one defender. They get it out of the way. Finishing off his almost perfect game. Prag takes the pawn. The computer says checkmate in 10, which is ridiculous because it wants to do something like sacrifice the queen, check here so the king can run away. But there's nothing you can do besides throwing away all your pieces to stop this kind of checkmate here.